that time of the year. Flu season's here, man. So let's get that hand sanitizer out. Let's douse ourselves because we don't want to be sick. We don't want to have any days where we're not here. We got to be here. We got to be working, right? And that's what we got to do. It's all for the kids. Otherwise, we're failing, right? That's what we got to do as teachers. We got to be here, right? So do what you got to do to take care of business. Guys, welcome to episode 16 of Positive Reinforcement. Finally back into gear. We're 2 weeks in now. Feeling like I got those teacher gears back. Feels good. I'm excited. We just started Julius Caesar today. It's been good. I got my coffee all set, guys. 2020, man. Off to a great start. Am I too far away sounding? Are we good? Telling you, one of these days I got to get a producer in here to check all this stuff for me. We're almost 20 episodes in, you know. I got to start getting pampered a little bit, I feel like. So, nah, just kidding. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Last week was by far the worst response I have ever gotten for this podcast. And I just chalk it up to I was gone for 3 weeks. People maybe forgot about it. You know, when you're off someone's radar, it's hard to get back on it, you know? Like we all live and lead such busy lives. We forget easily. ADD is just rampant in our society today. I mean, guys, we live in a world where Netflix has a button or an option where you can watch things 1.5 times faster. Now, that is utterly and complete blasphemy. I'll never understand that. Do you really are you really that, I can't even formulate the words to express my disdain for this. Guys, if you're not going to watch The Irishman at regular speed, then don't watch it. You don't deserve to watch it. All right? Anything that, there are so many movies where scenes, you know those things where characters are developed and emotion sets in, they're called scenes, where scenes are supposed to breathe and tension is supposed to set in. Sadness is supposed to set in. Extreme joy is supposed to set in. And at 1.5 times the normal speed, the director's true vision is absolutely tarnished. It hurts my heart as someone who doesn't make film, no, but someone who greatly admires film and studies movies on his own time and loves to talk about movies with friends. It hurts. It's just so stupid. I can't believe it. We're so ADD ridden, and this isn't a knock on people that actually have attention deficit disorder by any means. This is just a comment or commentary on society and how we just came into this place where we just need everything here and now, and if it's not here right now, it's too slow. Bottom line is I'm never going to take a break from doing this podcast again. Otherwise, you people will forget I even exist, apparently. I think I got like 40 views on my last podcast. And hey, guys, I am not doing this for the views. But when I see progress in something, I'm going to notice it when suddenly the progress goes... You know, like, I don't know. I'm advertising it the same amount that I have been. I don't know. Regardless, we're here and we're not going to stop unless I feel like stopping. And I don't feel like stopping. I'm having fun. We're having a good time. So here's episode 16. Kind coming right out of the gate here with a very serious announcement. Those of you who follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you have seen the collection of videos that I have been posting that involve people refusing to take down their Christmas decorations. Guys, it is January 15th. Now look, I understand that we're busy, right? We're watching movies at 1.5 speed. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. I'll give those who have their lights and stuff up still, but at least aren't turning them on, I'll give you a little bit of slack. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a little bit of slack. But to those who are still turning on your Christmas lights, those who still have a Christmas tree up in their house or apartment and they're opening their blinds so the world can still see it, you are a cancer to the world. Now look, those who have been watching this show know how much I love and adore and cherish Christmas time. I am Mr. Christmas. I love Christmas time, right? You notice how I say Christmas time. It's not even just a day. It is a time of the year, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. I think I'm going to make a song about that, actually. And you know how I feel about preserving the magic. If you allow Christmas to spill into January, you are taking the anticipation away from other people. You are forcing Christmas to stick around with people, right? And people like me who adore and cherish the special quality that is Christmas. You are forcing me to get rid of my anticipation. My anticipation now is at rock bottom because I still have to see Christmas shit. Because you still have your damn lights up. Because you still have your Christmas tree up. Because, I still want to see the lights. Who cares? Right? It's over. January 1st. Bring them down. It's over. And so, at the same time, I appreciate a great sense of humor. My second video that I posted about still seeing Christmas lights on, Mr. Potter, who is an art teacher here at Sanger High School, he sent me this image, and it made me laugh because he still has his Christmas tree up, and he was pointing to the day, I think it was January 8th or something when I posted the video. So that made me laugh. But seriously, Mr. Potter, take down your damn Christmas tree.
The joke's over.
You understand me? Take it down. Anyway. Hey. Learn how to drink, Mr. Norris. Jeez, man. I'm just so angry about the 1.5 speed on Netflix. Anyway, hole's right there. Let's stick with it. Man, so flu season is upon us. That's for sure. It has been for a while. Yesterday, I had like 10 kids absent in my 6th period. It was weird. It felt like, I don't know, class felt super small. So wash your hands constantly. And if you are sick, stay home. Don't bring it over here, okay? Otherwise, you're just going to infect other people, and it's going to suck. I hate being sick, especially when it's invading my time off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take mental health days way before an actual sick day. If I'm feeling sick, I still just want to power through it because I feel like I'm wasting the day off if I take the day off and I'm sick, but it's messed up to come to work and possibly give it to someone else. So stay home, right? Don't bring that over here. So pretty funny thing happened this morning. Here in the World Literature PLC, we've got 3 student teachers. That's a lot for one PLC to have. Mine, Mr. Bacon's, we share the same one. And then Mr. Williams and Mr. Stocks have one. And then Mrs. Baird has one, sharing it with the drama teacher. So 3 student teachers in one. Mrs. Baird's student teacher this morning said something to me like, yeah, I remember seeing your videos while in school. Like, she went to Sanger High. And I was like, what? Huh? You saw my videos? I've only been teaching for oh, crap, I'm old. She's going to be a teacher like next year, and she went to Sanger High while I was a teacher. It just blew my mind. I was like, you what? Huh? You're going to be a teacher and you were here while I was a teacher? I've been here 7 years, guys. Like, yeah, this stuff is going to be possible now. Students that were around while I was teaching are now becoming teachers, and they remember me. What's happening? It's the first sign that has proved to me that I've got some years on me now. And you know what? Are we good? Okay. I wear that as a badge of honor. I have been in the same spot for 7 years. That's really cool. Longevity and loyalty, I think highly of those traits. Now, I understand if you're looking for a place that pays the best and all that, but to me, like I said last week, money is never the number one, right? I would rather struggle a little bit financially, but know that I get to wake up every morning and come to a place that I love and come to a place that I'm supported, rather than be making bank, as Billy Shakes over here is, but hating coming to work every day. Like, no thank you. I don't care if my wallet is fat. If I'm unhappy at work, doesn't matter. I'd much rather be like, I don't know if I should buy this shirt, got to make it stretch till payday, and be happy at work than the other way around. So some food for thought. Yeah. Pretty funny thing happened yesterday. On Twitter, I'm friends with a lot of... I try to involve myself with the educational field on Twitter a lot. I'm friends with professors and teachers and those in college and all that. And the other day I got a message from someone who is becoming a teacher, and he sent me a message asking for help with writing his teacher philosophy for his resume. And I was like, oh, I'm flattered. That's cool. Thank you for coming to me. William M. Buttlicker. Hey, man, before you become a teacher, change your Twitter handle. I get it. It's from The Office. It's a hilarious moment, but other employers might not get the joke, and they might think you're a creep. So please change your Twitter handle from William M. Buttlicker to your actual name. That's my first piece of advice before anything else. Because employers check. They will Google the hell out of you. Trust me. When I first got hired, I used to make a lot more like skits and stuff on this channel. And to be frank, I miss it a lot. One day I'll get back into it. But I used to make a lot of dumb sketches. Anyway, there's this dumb sketch I made called Stop the Hop. Stupid PSA video when people say, I'm going to hop in the shower. And it's a whole play on like, that's not safe. Don't do that. Stop the Hop campaign. Really dumb. Anyway, there's this moment in the video where I'm like laying across some bleachers and I'm like rubbing my thigh and I'm like, hey, don't hop in the shower. It's really weird. Anyway, while I was interviewing for schools, the principal here at Sanger High School Googled me, found that video, and he had that video queued up before my interview. And he was like, oh, Mr. Norris, good to meet you. Hey, really quick, what's going on here? And he played that video, and inside of my body, I'm like, welp, college was fun, but too bad I'm never going to be a teacher because these videos are public, and I'm rubbing my thigh, and I'm telling people to not take a shower. So who's going to ever want me in their classroom in charge of their kids, you know? So, but outside, I kept it really cool. I was like, oh yeah, this is just some dumb videos I make. But you know what? I love making videos, and I would love to use my skills and take that into account with engagement in the classroom. And I really think it's actually a positive because of et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I handled it very well, but on the inside, sweating bullets. Thankfully, he listened to what I had to say, and also he was on my side, and he agreed with that, and I became the guy that made videos at Sanger High School, and that's still kind of my thing. So I wear that as a badge of honor too. Pretty funny interview story, but be careful with what you put out there on social media is the bottom line, because your employers Google you and they dig, apparently, because, you know, that was 2012, 2013, and I had a lot of videos on my YouTube channel even back then. So for him to go snoop around and find that, pretty funny. Anyway, so it's January 15th, and the semester's starting off great. You know, this is more English teacher specific, what I'm about to talk about. But I wanted to talk about this. The most stereotypical thing as an English teacher is, you know, like, oh, you're the Shakespeare expert, right? English teachers, Shakespeare, every English teacher teaches Shakespeare, right? And that's true. I haven't come across a high school where they don't teach Shakespeare, so there's definitely some truth to the stereotype. Ooh, I didn't get burpy at all last week, but I'm feeling it now. So the stereotype of English teacher being a Shakespeare expert and all that. First of all, I'm not a Shakespeare expert, and that's because I'm not the biggest Shakespeare fan. There are a lot of his stuff where I'm just like, this is just too much, man. Like, he was an excellent writer, and the characters he creates are just so enriched and great. Totally get that. But I will straight up make fun of Romeo and Juliet all day, every day. It is a travesty of a story, in my opinion. But when it comes to teaching Shakespeare, though, it doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. You got to be good to get kids into Shakespeare. And me, before I was a teacher, I was thinking like, man, I've got to teach Shakespeare. A, I don't really like a lot of his stuff. And B, I find Shakespeare difficult. How am I going to get my students to have fun with it? It was always a fear of mine. And guys, I just got to be honest with myself here. I am really good at teaching Shakespeare. You know, I'm a humble person. I'm being 100% serious here. I know I'm sarcastic and stuff sometimes, but really, I like to think of myself as a humble person. But also, I know what I'm good at. And one of those things is teaching Shakespeare. Today we started Julius Caesar for the first time, and Julius Caesar, I lucked out, is my favorite Shakespeare play, and it was before I even started teaching. So I lucked out there. But man, also though, Julius Caesar, one of the drier plays, one of the, I don't want to say boring, but there's definitely a lot of slow build kind of things going on in regard to character and stuff. So making Julius Caesar fun for students is one of the, and still is, the biggest challenge of my job, for sure. But today, we started it, and we jumped right into Act 1, and man, we're laughing about puns and stuff, and talking about Caesar's like military career and his prowess, and just breaking down really, really weird festival of Lupercal that would happen in ancient Rome. And guys, my students are just glued to me listening to this, having a hell of a time with Julius Caesar. And man, it has just been a great, good day. Man, so good. And puns, I mean, students are going to roll their eyes and whatnot.
Romero, please report to the front of the school. Elena Romero, please report to the front of the school.
Anyway, totally derailed me. Puns. I do this thing where we're talking about the scene, and it's the very first time a character uses a pun in the play. And I just stop talking about Shakespeare. And I'm like, guys, I really like hone in my acting skills here. I'm like, guys, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Listen, we gotta pause for a second here. I totally can't believe I was supposed to bring this up at the beginning of class, but I totally forgot. Guys, did you hear what happened yesterday in first period? No? The kidnapping? And then all of the kids get like, what? Kidnapping? What happened? And it just gets like this. Just eerily quiet. Room full of 35 kids. Just dead silent all of a sudden. And I'm like, yeah, but don't worry. He eventually woke up. Mr. Norris, can't believe I fell for it, right? That is how you introduce puns, right? You just hit him with one like that. And it was so funny. Kidnapping, so that's how I introduce puns. And you got to do stuff like that. You can't just be like, all right, let's stop here. What's the definition of a pun? It's this and this and this. He just used a pun for soul, as in soul of your shoe, and soul, as in soul, as the essence of a person. Everyone understand? Moving on. If you teach Shakespeare that way, you're the type of person that probably watches movies on 1.5 speed. No, it's not going to work. You can't be dry with Caesar or with Shakespeare because it's already so dry to them. Hang on. I'm getting some text messages that I want to make sure I... What? Anyway, I'm confused. Never mind. So you got to make it fun. You got to make it engaging. I am super tired right now. For an hour and a half, literally just up, reading, talking, pausing the story every 30 seconds, talking about what's going on. You got to do that stuff. Otherwise, they are not going to care at all. But it was just nice to remind myself. I'm such a doubter sometimes. No matter how many times I hear like, oh, Mr. Norris, you're my favorite teacher and all that stuff, as great as it is to hear, I'm always like, yeah, but I could have, yeah, but I should have, So to reflect on my own performance today and honestly just be like, damn, that was good. You got to do that for yourself every now and then. Just be honest 100% of the time. And today was just a great day, So Shakespeare's hard, man, but it's fun when you put in the time to make it fun. All right, so we're at 23 minutes. I'm going to talk about the thing that I didn't have enough time to talk about last week, and that is this question here. What good do teachers really do for students? That's right. I just threw that out there. That's a question that is kind of diminishing my own career, right? What good do teachers really do, though? Yeah, you're talking about idioms and symbolism, and yeah, you're teaching them algebra, and yeah, you're talking about the Declaration of Independence, but what are you really doing for them, And I've heard people ask this question that aren't teachers in a dead serious way. And, A lot of teachers would probably be offended by that right out of the gate, but not me. We've all been to high school, okay? So I get it. I failed so many of my high school classes, including sophomore English, and now I'm teaching it. The world is ironic, right? But I totally get that question, and it's a totally justified question, especially in America. What do teachers really do, though? That question doesn't offend me because there's so many when are we going to need this times as a student in high school, for sure. And I get that. But I got an answer to that question. What do teachers really do? I'll tell you what teachers really do. At the end of the day, students are not going to remember you for talking about Julius Caesar. Students are not going to remember you for teaching them about what keep your eye on the road means, right? Students are going to remember you for the way you handle things, the way you perceive life, the way that you overcome challenges yourself, how you believe in certain things, how you see the world, what kind of political beliefs you have, how you treat people, how much you care and how much you don't care about certain things. Bottom line is, students are observing you to see how am I supposed to be successful in this world. Students watch me as a model for an adult. This is how an adult should act, talk, think, feel. And that is the answer to that question. What do teachers really do for students? That's what they do. We are a blueprint for what you could be, right? I think I brought this up. On my podium, I have the words be immeasurable. And I'm going to talk about this at the very last day of the school year. I have that up there because I don't want to be the type of person who is easily defined. I talked about this already. I make music. I write books. I'm a teacher. I love, the list goes on and on and on and on about the way that you could define me. And I take that fact very seriously. And what I hope is that students recognize the fact that I do all of these things and believe all of these things. And what I hope that they're gathering from seeing me is, man, I want to be able to do that and that and that. And I want to think this way and this way and this way. And, I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but at the end of the day, they're not going to remember you for the stories. And I mean, they might, I have students that I used to have that are like, yeah, I still think about Lord of the Flies from time and time again. But no, they remember your sense of humor. They remember the real conversations you have. They remember the real stuff about being a human being, right? Every single day, they're just watching you be a human. And, that's our job is to kind of be a window into the future. Like, I think I'm getting my point across. You are the model of an adult, a functioning, successful adult. Remember that and be conscious of what you do and what you say, right? Because they're still little kids. Even though they're 15 or 16 years old, they're still the little kid that's like pulling at your pants way down there, just like, how do you do this? And what are you supposed to do? And why did you say that? And what are you doing this for, right? They're still that way, even in high school. Like, they're constantly soaking in adults and their behavior and forming their own identities. I mean, guys, I'm 32 years old and I'm just barely right now starting to realize like, oh dang, like I'm a person now. Like I know what I want and I need. I know what I hate. I know what I want for myself and I know what I'm done with. Like these kids are 15 and 16 years old. Haven't even started living life yet. So be aware of those more subtle idiosyncrasies that you have because they're picking up on those things. And they're inspired by those things. And they'll mimic those things. So that's what a teacher does for students right there. I hope that made sense because it's 31 minutes in and I'm done. I want to go home. So thanks for tuning in to episode 16 of Positive Reinforcement. Have a great weekend. We've got the NFC and AFC Championship this weekend. We're going to figure out who our Super Bowl participants are and all that good stuff. So I'm done. Thank you for tuning in once again. Goodbye. Billy Shakes, you got anything to say? No. Really, I'll close out with a really funny story. A few years ago, the student I had, his name was Richard. He had a very dry, hilarious sense of humor. But we started the Julius Caesar unit, and he sat way in the back, and he found a picture of Shakespeare in the textbook. And he was like, "Hey, Mr. Norris, who's this pirate?" Just deadpan, super serious, and got a really good laugh out of me. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. I love you all. Good night.